All right, if you're using the automation tool n8n, I need you to stop what you're doing and listen to this. There's a critical vulnerability out there, and they've nicknamed it Ni8mare. And honestly, it could give an attacker the keys to your entire digital kingdom. So let's dive in and break down exactly what this threat is, how it works, and what you need to do about it right now. So, to really get a handle on just how serious this is, we first have to talk about the main character in our story, n8n itself. You'll see pretty quickly that it's a classic double-edged sword. Its incredible power is the very thing that makes it such a tempting and dangerous target for hackers.
So what is n8n? Well, you can think of it as being kind of like a Zapier or Make, but with one huge difference. You typically host it yourself. This is amazing, right? It gives you total control over your data, your workflows. You can visually connect all your internal apps and APIs. But I want you to burn that phrase self-hosted into your brain because it's the absolute key to this whole vulnerability.
And this is where the real risk starts to become crystal clear. See, because n8n is this central hub, it's connected to pretty much everything that matters. Your databases, your cloud services, all your internal APIs. It's literally holding the keys to the kingdom, all those API tokens and credentials that make the digital world go round. A compromise here isn't just about one little app. It's about giving an attacker the perfect launchpad to take over your entire infrastructure. Which brings us to the big, scary question. When the one tool that ties everything together has a back door that's been kicked wide open, what's the potential damage? Well, let me tell you, it is about as bad as it gets. All right, let's formally introduce the villain of our story. It's called Ni8mare, and its official tracking number is CVE-2026-21858. And as you're about to see, that name is definitely not an exaggeration. Just take a second and look at that number. A 10.0. In the world of cybersecurity, we have this thing called the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, or CVSS. It rates threats on a scale from 0 to 10. A 10 isn't just bad, it's a perfect score. It's the absolute worst-case scenario. So, what does a perfect 10 actually mean in practice? It means an attacker can hit you over the network, from anywhere. It means they need 0 credentials, no username, no password, nothing. And the impact? Total takeover of the instance, leading to remote code execution. Let me put it plainly. A complete stranger on the internet can own your server. You know, the craziest part is that the technical root cause is surprisingly subtle. It all boils down to a flaw in how n8n handles incoming web requests. An attacker can craft a special request that basically confuses the application about what kind of data it's getting. And that moment of confusion, that's the key that unlocks the door, letting them just walk right past all the normal security checks. Okay, so how does an attacker actually pull this off? It isn't a single brute force hit. No, it's a really clever 6-step chain of exploits. It escalates from one simple, tricky web request all the way to total system compromise. Let's walk through that path, step by step. This is just brilliant from an attacker's perspective. It all starts with one single, unauthenticated request sent to a public webhook. That content type confusion we just talked about, that lets the attacker read files on the server they should never be able to see. And from those files, they steal the crown jewels, encryption keys, API tokens. Now, with those secrets in hand, they can forge a perfectly valid admin session, log themselves in, create a new workflow, and use one of n8n's own features to run any command they want on the server. And just like that, it's game over. Now that we've seen how the attack works, let's talk about the real-world damage. Because taking over the n8n server, that's just the beginning. The potential blast radius from a successful Ni8mare exploit is, frankly, catastrophic. And this is the point I really need you to understand. The damage goes way beyond just the n8n server. The attacker doesn't just get control of n8n. They get every single secret stored inside it. And from there, they can use n8n's already trusted connections to pivot right into your other internal systems. We're talking databases, cloud accounts, you name it. It becomes the perfect trusted launchpad for a much wider attack. Okay, that was a lot of bad news. The good news? There is a clear, direct path to protect yourself. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the action plan. First things first, are you vulnerable? The answer, thankfully, is really simple. If you are running any self-hosted version of n8n before version 1.121.0, you are at risk. The fix is in version 1.121.0 and every single version that's come out since. Please pay very close attention because this is the single most important message I have for you. The number one, top priority, critical action you must take is to upgrade your n8n instance immediately. This is not a task for next week. This is not something to stick in the backlog. This is an all hands on deck, drop everything else situation. Upgrade now. Now, if for some extreme reason you absolutely cannot upgrade this very second, your first move is to block all external access to your public webhooks at your firewall. But, and this is so important, you have to operate as if you've already been breached. That means it's time to rotate everything, every API key, every token, every database credential connected to n8n. I know it's a massive pain, but it is absolutely essential. And once you've put out the immediate fire, it's time to think about long-term security. Simple best practices, things like putting n8n behind an authentication proxy, using network segmentation to limit what it can talk to if it is ever compromised again, and actively monitoring for weird activity. These are the things that can prevent the next N8 nightmare from becoming a total disaster. I want to leave you with this thought. Tools like n8n give us incredible, almost unimaginable power to automate and innovate. But as this vulnerability proves, that power comes with a massive responsibility. So my question for you is, what's one change you're going to make today to better defend your own automation hubs?